name is Gwendell. I'm from the Cree Nation from Alberta. I lived in Vancouver for 27 years. I work in the downtown east side. I've been a foster parent for 8 years. I have a foster child who is 8 years old recently. I've had her since she was 3 weeks old. I became a foster parent as I have this 8-year-old child whose family I've known for about 20 years now. I worked with her biological grandmother. We used to work together. The opportunity came, this is the second time from this family, but I do have the 8-year-old. I had her 15-year-old brother previously for the first 3 years of his life. When the opportunity came for this 8-year-old to come into my care, I had to go to the extent of doing all the foster parent training to have her continually be in my care, which I totally agreed to, and I was more than happy to take her. It's been a very good experience with VacVast. I feel very well supported throughout the whole process. The preparation was really good. I had a really good resource worker. My very first experience with my resource worker at the time, who I was introduced as my resource worker, which I did not know, but I'm thankful for, made it really clear what I was getting into and laid out everything and just supported me through the whole process and made sure that if I had any questions, that she would be with me. Any questions at all, anything I needed, she would be there, and she was there, and she has been there. I still try to give my 8-year-old the best, possible quality of life I can give her, as if she was my own child. And I don't like the label of her being a foster child. I don't. So being a foster parent and you have this child who has her own biological family, and trying to make a bridge so that she's still to make a connection to where she comes from, because that's huge. Being a kid in care, you still want to be able to have a connection with your biological family, and even though the biological family may be having their own struggles, and as my 8-year-old does, she has, siblings that we try to have connection with. So I try to do my best with, providing stability, providing consistency, providing that, that connection and keeping it, because, they're a unit, and I look at them as a unit, and I feel that it is the best interest for that family to stay together. And I do that as possible, as best as I can, and I try to be respectful towards her family, her biological family, being not judgmental about it going okay, and try to be supportive at the same time, and explain it to the best of how important it is for them as well, not just for the child, but as for them too, to keep them together so they don't lose that. And and that goes back to going back to residential school and stuff, right? Living in the big city, I think, is really hard. For anybody's culture too, and I think it's really important for kids in care to have that connection, and to for us foster parents, we have to seek out where to find it, where do we find resources, where do we find the support so we can support our child, so they have a piece of that, because that's part of who they are. And VacVast is amazing, done really good. We're trying to help foster parents so these kids are well connected and keep connected to the cultural aspect. I would like to see more Indigenous people do foster care, in a sense that I hear people talking about it, I see people talking about it. So it'd be really nice if somebody, because I know a lot of people come up from, let's say, a different nation, come to the city, and they have an opportunity, if someone would approach them, or if they're made aware that, oh hey, guess what, they're looking for foster parents that are actually from Gitxsan, and you're Gitxsan and you're a really good role model in the community. Maybe you could get a hold of VacVast, or would you consider foster parenting another Gitxsan child? I feel like I have a fulfillment. And I mean, not only does this little person, I try to fulfill, this little person with lots of good stuff, but it also fulfills me, that knowing that I watch what I've done and I can see I'm doing a good job. Because I was at a place, I was working a lot and I wanted to do more. And it was like, well, how can I do more, but in a good way? Like, what could I give? Like, I wanted to give. I'm like, where could I give? And then, this opportunity was dropped on my lap, and I'm like, you know what? This is it. This is probably what I'm supposed to be doing.